You got challenges that you're going to run across.
5 years with the Chiefs.
Give me your 3 biggest moments with the Chiefs.
Oh, excellent. That's easy.
Okay.
First touchdown. My first touchdown was in 1990, playing against the Seattle Seahawks in the Tacoma Dome. And that was special because you heard the journey, the Cleveland and in Dallas, and I finally made it. And that one was so memorable because my entire family from Portland drove up there. It was like my second game being active, and my uncle was there in the stands. But my uncle was the first person when I was in high school that said, "You're going to play in the NFL someday."
Wow.
Uncle Sonny. I was like, "Uncle, you're crazy. I'm not playing in the NFL. You're nuts." But he said, "I believe in you so much. Give me your first touchdown ball." And I was like, "Whatever, you can have it."
Yeah.
Anyway, fast forward to that day, and he was there, and I gave him the ball, and he taught me a real important lesson too, Tony. I said, "Uncle, how did you know I was going to play in the NFL?" He goes, "Well, I knew you had the ability. You just didn't believe in yourself. So I figured if I poured belief into you until you got your belief where it needed to be, then you would take it all the way." And I never forgot that lesson because it's true when you got someone believing in you.
Yeah, yeah. What's the second one?
The second one would be the 1991 season. And this is when Tim Barnett, they drafted Tim, and I got bumped down, and I wasn't playing that much. And I was a little frustrated, but I thought, you know what? I'm still here. Every day's game day. Let's treat practice like it is game day. Anyway, took the whole season, but they finally played me a lot the very last game against the Raiders. And I had 8 catches, 188 yards, 2 touchdowns of 57 and 52 yards. And that changed my career because after that game, Marty was like, "How would you like to be a starter in the NFL?" And I started the remaining 5 years of my NFL career. So that was real monumental. And then the last one was first touchdown pass from Joe Montana, Tampa Bay. It's a 52-yard post. And getting to play with Joe is pretty awesome.
Wow. Some people call the GOAT until Brady showed up. So give me a Joe Montana story, locker room story or something.
Oh, let's see. Okay, here's a good one. So the very first practice, we're literally indoor facility, our first practice with Joe Montana and Marcus Allen. So it's the first time we're in practice. We're all together, and you kind of feel this new energy and everything. And you're like, so I'm in the huddle like this, and I'm like, okay, that's Joe Montana. You know, I'm like trying to get over that because I used to watch him in the 8th grade. But the very first play we called was X hook. And X hook, I'm an X, it's 12 yards turn around. So I'm getting Joe Montana's very first pass as a Chief. So I'm like, oh, I get to run this hook. Here we go. So I run up the field, about 10 yards, I break down, boom. He hits me in the back of the head with the ball. And then he goes, "Come here, kid." And then he calls the other wide receiver, Willie Davis, and he says, "Okay, I don't wait for you to get open. I've already read the defense. I throw it before you get there. You got to get your head around faster and know the ball is coming." And Willie and I looked at each other. We're like, okay, we're playing with a whole different level quarterback. But just that little bitty tip, it made me better as a wide receiver because of just, you know, some of the things he started teaching us from that point.
So now normally with a wide receiver, the quarterback throws to a spot.
Correct.
So he's saying if you see yourself before that thinking you're going to be open or something, you could turn around in or something. Is that how would you?
He's saying, because what Montana would do is this. So a lot of quarterbacks, if you're throwing that hook over there, they might drop back and look over here and kind of move that defense like that. Montana knows he's throwing the hook. So he looks over here, he plants, he throws, then he turns his head.
Oh, wow.
To a spot.
Wow.
Before the defense can get there. So when I'm getting up to the top of my route, I have to know the ball's already there and it's eyes, hands quicker, you know?
Wow.
Yeah. And that's a millisecond. And that's the difference between a completion and an incompletion.
Completion.
They've got Sale now as a stand-up defensive end, much like Derek Thomas on the other side.
The bird goes deep, has a man open, and it is complete.
He's going to go.
J.J. Birden will go 90 yards.
crowd is ignited. Straight man-for-man coverage right here. And he just beats his man. Donnie Eller couldn't stay with him, and he shows the speed. Sammy Seal is the fastest player on the San Diego
And that's
Charger
a
team.
millisecond, and that's the difference between a completion and an incompletion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So Marty was at Cleveland and came to Kansas City. That's how you got there. Because I knew. Okay. He liked you. Okay.
Yeah, and I knew he was going to give me the best opportunity to make the team because he drafted me, and coaches love being right.
Right. So the things I hear about Marty, and I guess because he was coaching a lot earlier, is because I remember when he was coaching the Redskins, and Coach Prime Dion had a problem with him because he was physical. He wanted to practice every day hitting, and Dion ain't like that. I mean, he called him out or something. I remember they had so is that how Marty is? He's just a physical guy that wants you to hit every day? Make sure that you like and subscribe and hit the all button and all that kind of stuff, because we're going to have a lot of good interviews on this podcast.